Next up on the roster, we have Life of a Gangster. The content on the channel covers the most famous mobsters and gangsters in history, from the mafia to bank robbers to cartel drug dealers or even the outlaws of the Wild West. In one video, they cover Frank Matthews, the drug lord that got away with over $100 million. Frank Matthews' story is really an untold story, especially when it comes to the masses. But really, why would Hollywood want to tell a story where the black man got away with all the money at the end? Specifically, a black man that was the head of his empire and totally independent of mafia control. On the channel, they let us know that Frank's life started out in mystery, with conflicting accounts on his upbringing, with a lot of people lying about knowing him just to be in the limelight. As far as the people go that really knew him, they refrain from talking about him. But we do know he was born in Durham, North Carolina on February 13th, 1944. There's little to no information about Matthew's father, and his mother died when he was barely 4 years old. He was raised by his aunt from there on out. Growing up in Durham, Matthews was able to see successful black entrepreneurs, as Durham was home to one of the most prosperous black communities in the country, despite it being in the segregated South. Al Bradley, an author that wrote extensively about Frank's life, thinks that Frank being able to see successful black men in his youth in Durham shaped the man he became tremendously. During the early 60s, Frank left Durham, headed towards New York to make some money. Initially, when Frank moved to New York, he worked as a barber and ran numbers. But once Frank realized how much money the drug dealers were making on the corner, he turned in his barber coat. Frank tried to establish a relationship with the mafia, including the Bonanno family and the Gambino family. But for whatever reason, they turned him down. This minor setback didn't deter Frank. He eventually met a Cuban plug from his ties in the numbers game. Being supplied by the Cuban plug, Frank quickly became a major drug dealer in only a year's time. Frank scaled his business by focusing on getting the purest product he could find. This is what separated him from his competitors and led to him selling his product in 21 different states. It's estimated that Frank made $600,000 a day, and his fortune was up to $300 million that he amassed in only 4 years. Frank held conferences for the elite black drug dealers in the country, one in Atlanta and one in Las Vegas. These meetings were held to discuss improving business operations. These meetings are the reason the authorities started investigating Frank. They checked the license plates of the vehicles at the meeting and figured out who all the attendees were. After a year of investigating, the authorities had enough to arrest Frank. They arrested him at Las Vegas International Airport. Bail for Frank was initially set for $5 million, then reduced to $2.5 million, then down to $325K, which would prove to be a grave mistake. Frank paid the bail and was once again a free man. Frank was to appear back in court on July 2nd, 1973. When Frank pulled a no-show on July 2nd, he was considered a fugitive, and this is when the mystery of Frank's disappearance began. Also on the channel, they cover the godfather of Harlem, Bumpy Johnson. So y'all go check out the great content being produced by Life of a Gangster.